One Book, One Community is in full swing. We recently had the pleasure of hosting a Holmes-inspired author as part of the 2019 program. If you're a fan of Sherlock Holmes, you'll love this fun twist on the character. We're at the main library at Goodwood for the book talk with Sherry Thomas, author of Lady Sherlock, A Study in Scarlet Women. Let's check it out.
I am Sherry Thomas. I am the author of the Lady Sherlock historical mystery novels, and we are here for the One Book, One Community event at the Goodwood Public Library, talking about all things Sherlock and Lady Sherlock.
The meeting room at the main library was packed for this One Book, One Community event. After all, how often do you get to meet with and ask questions of the author of one of your favorite books?
This is Sherry Thomas. We're going to have I'm going to ask her a few questions just to kind of get her going, but then I want everyone else to kind of think of some questions to ask her yourself.
Sherry Thomas is the author of the Lady Sherlock series, which includes A Study in Scarlet Women, A Conspiracy in Belgravia, and The Hollow of Fear. Her unique spin on Sherlock Holmes breathes new life into the Holmes world, which made her the perfect complement to our celebration of The Hound of the Baskervilles.
I first had the idea I want to write my own take on Sherlock Holmes when I read Laurie R. King's Mary Russell and Sherlock Holmes books, in which she gave Sherlock Holmes a friend and mate who's a woman who's every bit as smart and indomitable as he was. And so that made me go, wow, I really love that take on it. I wish I could do something like that. But I didn't think I had it in me to do it then. Fast forward until the BBC Sherlock came out. And I was blown away by their take, their update, how they thoroughly modernized Sherlock Holmes, but yet it's still very much Sherlock Holmes. So I was like, oh, they already updated to the 21st century, and Elementary on CBS already made Watson a woman. Seemed like the only thing left to do was to make Sherlock woman and see what shakes out. And I look around and I was shocked that nobody had done it yet, at least not by the major publishers. So I was like, I guess I'm the one for it.
I was not a writer, and I didn't say that to be modest. I didn't have journals full of stories. I never took a creative writing class. I was an avid reader. That was pretty much it. Don't know what came over me. And God bless him, my husband never asked me that question himself. He also never asked me whether I lost my mind. He just kind of backed off a little bit and said, sure,
Sherry's lead character is Charlotte Holmes, an inquisitive woman who thinks little of the social expectations forced upon women in Victorian England. I asked Sherry what she hopes readers will take away from her books.
I would hope that they take from her is Charlotte thinks of the world very much in terms of power. Mm-hmm. She understands power, I think, not instinctively, but as observed conclusions. Mm-hmm. She very much can look at a situation and understand where the power center is. She's not afraid of the idea of power, and she's not afraid of the pursuit of power. And she's not afraid to analyze everything in terms of how everything shakes out, because if you analyze things in terms of money, in terms of advantages, in terms of alliances, you're still in the end analyzing power. And she's very fluent in the conversation of power. And I think, if I would like for readers to take anything away from it, especially female readers, I would love for them to become, more conversant with power.
She became very round, very pleasantly plump, very, very feminine, who dresses in extravagant manner. Basically, someone whom, if you see her look like that, and you see her eating cake with great enthusiasm, she'll be the last person you would suspect of having a razor-sharp mind.
So who's your Holmes? More One Book, One Community details can be found at readonebook.org. To find out what's coming up next, pick up a copy of a monthly newsletter, The Source, or visit us online at www.ebrpl.com. Sherry really nailed this revamp of Sherlock Holmes. As impressive as her books are, and the accolades they have received, what makes them perhaps even more noteworthy is that English is Sherry's second language. Amazing.